Hello, I'm Bruce Greene. Welcome to the Bosque Museum. I know you're going to enjoy your visit. It's a special facility and a very special place. When I was a very young age, I was drawing and drawing horses really more than anything. But my parents saw this and they kind of, what do we do with this? Because I was so interested in it and doing it all the time, and they fed that. They found a way to feed that through a children's art program at the Museum of Fine Art in Dallas. And actually, I had an aunt that was a hobby painter, and when my parents were trying to visit with them in San Antonio, they said, well, let's stick this kid on. I was 6 years old. They said, let's stick this kid on the patio with her. She had her French easel and her paints. And well, when we did this, the light went on. I could tell this was in me, and it was. I remember it to this day. I didn't think I could do it as a career. I got out of college and I went to work. My family had grocery stores. I went to work doing that. And then one day I find myself basically with a family and no means of support, and somebody said there's an art show on the Rockwall County Square, in Rockwall, city of Rockwall, on Election Day, and said set up, you can set up your stuff, and I sold 6 pieces that day for $132.50, framed and ready to hang. I got started in the art business, and it was like a struggle. But at one point, Wolf Brand Chili contacted me, and they wanted some paintings, series of 3 paintings. Ended up wanting a little sculpture too, and they asked me could I do these paintings. It was about the start of Wolf Brand Chili in Corsicana and around, and so I did these 3 paintings. But we went to make a deal with them, and I kind of figured out what was the biggest amount of money I would dare ask them and not take a chance of running them off. And so that's what I told them I wanted for the paintings, but I thought I could probably get a little trade to boot. And so I said on top of that, I need, to trade for a bunch of chili. And so we got every kind, with beans, without beans, hot dog, chili, everything. We had it stacked in our garage, and that's what our kids started out on is chili. We came to Bosque County because I kept driving through here going to Kerrville. We lived in the Mesquite area, and that's where Janie and I grew up. But we were still living in that area after I got out of college, and there was an education program going on at the Cowboy Artists of America Museum in Kerrville. So I'd drive through here on the way and realized this was the most beautiful county month in and month out that I had ever seen. And then learned of the artist population here, with Melvin Warren and Jim Bourne. Martin was going in. And then we checked out the schools and the church and the hospital, and it just looked like a great place to raise kids too. The influences that I've realized in over my 40 years of doing this, 40 plus, certainly the Cowboy Artists of America, and I studied with them. Some of them, really were some of the greatest representational artists of our time. They came from that background of the great illustrators out of that Norman Rockwell era so much. And I was able to have a contact with them and study with them. That was fantastic. I still am very aware of what they have done before my time. And but also now I'm heavily influenced by mainly Joaquin Sorolla, turn of the century Spaniard, John Singer Sargent, Anders Zorn. These painters, but and I've traveled quite a bit of the world trying to find these paintings, these originals, to Spain and to see Joaquin Sorolla's paintings, and they've been a huge influence on me. I've certainly studied the work of Charlie Russell, and I've felt that connection, and others have expressed a connection As to myself and Russell, I don't want to assume something, greater than I should, but the connection is that Russell rode the miles. He went with them and he really did it. He wasn't just an observer. And that's the position that I've taken. I don't think that I can paint and sculpt what I do with passion and with accuracy without experiencing it, living it. And so I'm on the wagon with them and I'm riding the miles.